Good morning. Well, it's not even morning.
It's
afternoon.
actually
Sorry about
after
that.
lunch. It's actually 1:22 here, so yeah, it's not
Yeah.
morning. But hello.
But then again, it might be morning in the West Coast.
That's true. You're right. It might be, and I really need to shave. Anyway, besides that.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
you basically got the I forgot his name though.
I have the Alucard look, kind of, because I got like the mustache. Well, when you first see him, when he tells his backstory, I kind of got out because he's kind of scruffy and old before they kill him. Back when he used to be human.
Well,
yeah,
I was going for Tom Selleck. But,
yeah, exactly. Isn't it though? Anyway, so if you guys don't know who we are, my name is Aaron or A Goldman,
and of course you know me, Dante J. Lewis.
And so, dude, let's get directly into this. We're not gonna goof off like we usually do in the beginning.
Yeah, this one's gonna be a straight shooter.
Yes, this is gonna be straight. So, dude, we have kind of a two-parter this time. So this is gonna be the first part, which this video won't be real long. No. We are gonna get into. Tell people what we are gonna get into. We're gonna get into something really cool, actually.
Yeah, we are. So basically, we are actually going to be covering just a little bit on Overlord.
Overlord.
Einzelgon.
Yeah, Einzelgon. I can't do the voice, but it's really awesome.
No, he's actually better at it than we are.
Isn't it though?
Right. But yeah, we're actually basically going to be covering a little bit on Overlord.
Yes.
Like so far, what's happened so far. And
well, I mean, okay, so I don't want to do any spoilers. That's
right.
No spoilers, but there's been a lot going on with the show, and one of the things I wanted to kind of get into was why this show is so good.
Yes, definitely. Why, out of all of the isekai that even the generic ones that you've seen so far,
I mean,
to
me, this show stands out, and for one reason. The reason why is because of the characters. This was one of those shows where when they introduce a character and like when they actually get into and you actually find out more information about it, they stick with it. They don't just drop him after 5 seasons and he doesn't just fade in the background. The characters come back and they're actually part of the story, intricate parts of the story where you'll see characters over and over again, or you will hear more about them than you normally would for most isekai. Don't you hate it, dude, when you watch a show and you're like, oh, they introduced a character, but then all of a sudden there's like, oh, nope, it's a background. They're just like stand in the background and do nothing.
Yeah, there's a few offenders that I can name.
And yes, we are looking at you, Data Live, because you're one of the biggest contenders for introducing characters and then having them just background nonsensical nothingness. They just fade into nonsensical nothingness. They just fade into nothing. It's like poof, you appear, and then all of a sudden you're like whoop, they're just gone. They're just like they're just standing in the. They just all of a sudden become a lampshade in the background. You're like, what happened?
Basically here today, gone tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yes, we are staring at you, Data Live. Fix your freaking character problems, and like
we are not the only ones.
Yeah, and like actually do something with your characters. Has so much potential, but you just know you'd rather focus on your 2 characters and their popularity instead of actually making doing more with the characters you have. So. Anyway, let's get off that rant. That's a rant for another day.
We're going to save that for another video. Right now, we are going to jump into...
Overlord, one of the things that stands out of Overlord is how much they put into their characters and then just how well the story is put together. Yes, it is dark, but, dude, what's your first impression on it, Dante?
Well, honestly, when I actually first saw it... Mm-hmm. At first, I literally thought it was going to be, I'm like, oh, great, another generic isekai. But when you actually get into it, the story and the pacing is actually pretty good. Like,
yeah, it is very good.
Like Einzelgon is basically one of those guys that yes, he's OP in a sense.
Yeah.
But it's basically one of those things where it doesn't look like he's potentially, like, bragging about it.
Correct, yeah. And he's not like, okay, so when you first like get introduced to him, you're like, yeah, he's a little dark, but he's not like Alucard dark, where he's just like this like unstoppable, dark force that like nobody can defeat. Like, yeah, he is he's insanely powerful, right? And yeah, he kind of casts a kind of a creepy shadow on some characters, but he's not like the kind of person who would just go around like taking over kingdoms and like killing everybody, right? He doesn't come off that way.
No, he doesn't.
He is kind of a nice person. He is kind of somewhat.
Well,
decent.
he doesn't treat his subordinates like crap.
Exactly. Yeah, he is nice to most of his subordinates, and he does have some compassion for his subordinates and for other people, right? He's not totally heartless, you know what I mean?
But he definitely shows no mercy to his enemies.
Yeah, and he definitely is a darker character. I wouldn't say he's a good guy, but I also wouldn't say he's a villain either. He's kind of one of those like
he's basically one of those anti-heroes.
Yeah, he's kind of like an anti-hero because he has killed a lot of people, and like he doesn't
really follow the traditional heroic rules like you normally would.
Exactly, and some of his subordinates don't like humans, so
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would basically say that Ainzel Gon is probably not only is he maybe one of the coolest bosses that you might have, but at the same time, he knows how strong he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't like, but he doesn't like boast about it.
Yeah. Well,
which I think is like one of the coolest things about him.
Yeah.
Because when you get most OP characters, it's one of two things. One, they don't even realize that they're OP until they actually start fighting,
or they just brag about it.
Or they just brag about it so much that it gets annoying to the fan base that already. Okay, we know you're strong.
The other thing too is that I find it interesting that he's also one of the only characters who, even though he's an undead type character because he's a skeleton, right?
Yeah.
He actually doesn't. He tries to negotiate. Have you ever seen a badass ever try to negotiate, Dante?
It rarely happens. It rarely happens.
Like they don't usually negotiate. Yet he's one of those few characters who does actually try to negotiate instead of just being like.
Exactly.
You know what I
mean? Yeah, he's not. Ainzel Gon is definitely not one of those guys that is gonna just kill you for no reason. No,
exactly.
he'll actually give you a chance to explain yourself as to why you did certain things to certain subordinates.
Exactly.
Or even if you're trying to if you're trying to take over my country, I want to know why you want to do
this.
He'll sit down and negotiate.
He will sit down and talk to you before he kills you.
Yeah. He won't just flat out kill you.
He's not like Vegeta where he just blasts you into oblivion and he's like he's like you must say a die, otherwise this person that like you have forgot to might come back and kill you.
Exactly.
You know, right?
Super Boost the same way.
Yeah, but it's like instead Ainz is more like, hey, look, we can actually talk this out. To where like, hey, I might not have to kill you if we
can take a diplomatic approach.
Exactly, and if he can get you on his side, he's like, hey, look, you can actually have a shot at becoming someone who could be valuable and also maybe becoming a badass like me. You know what I mean?
Right. But only if you don't try to like go after his stuff or
true or threaten one of his subordinates or whatever.
Yeah. Just don't do that.
Yeah, then he might kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or he might do it anyway. But
he might also do this.
Yes, he will
might
laugh about it.
Yeah.
He will definitely laugh about it. But I would say that definitely Overlord is definitely a show that you definitely want to check out.
It's one of those ones where, I highly recommend checking this one out. It does follow the isekai tropes, right? Some of them, not all of them.
But the character development is so good, though.
Yeah, the character development is really good. And also just the way they stick with their characters is, like, really good, too. And then some of the characters themselves, the interesting personalities that all the characters have are really, really kind of... It's clever, the way they interact, and they each have their own different personalities, and it's very, very well done.
Yeah, definitely. I would say that, and this is, unfortunately, this is one of the things that a lot of, a lot of shows can potentially run into.
Well, it's also a failure point for a lot of shows, because when you have, like, a lot of characters, it gets harder to make them interact and actually create something that will keep it going, right, in a good direction, and to keep those characters going and make them
it's harder to keep
unique.
Those backstories constant.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah, so unfortunately, when you got a huge cast, that simply means that it's hard to account for each character in particular, like each character individually. Yeah. So with huge cast, you're going to run into that problem.
I mean, dude, how much of this show have you seen? Too much Overlord? Have you seen the first season yet, Dante? Have you watched the first season?
I've seen a lot of the first season.
Yeah.
I know I'm 3 seasons behind, but I've seen a lot of the first season. But yeah, definitely. I think with Overlord's character development, it's definitely something that you might want to check out. Yeah. Oh, and also,
well, would you say? Okay, so dude, question for you.
Yeah.
So would you consider this genre of anime and this version, this anime specifically, would you consider this one something that you would be willing to watch on a Halloween night?
On a Halloween night, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know me, don't
like you already know the theme of Overlord.
Yeah.
It's got skeletons, demons, vampires.
Yep.
Duh. Halloween stuff.
And all kinds of creatures in it and stuff like that. Yeah.
Creatures of the night.
Yep. And like crazy magic powers. You know?
Yep.
So
yeah, it's definitely something that if you want to get your spook on, definitely watch it for Halloween.
Well, so dude, you know me, Dante. My tradition on every Halloween is either I'm watching Hellsing Ultimate, or I'm watching High School of the Dead, or just something creepy, something with vampires, something that's scary, right? That's my thing on Halloween is I always watch some scary anime, and sometimes I watch Overlord.
Yeah. But in my case, it's usually vampire strippers. But that's something else.
Really, dude?
That's
vampire strippers?
Yeah, that's something else.
You know, then, dude, you'd like the other show that I'm actually currently watching. Remember the one I was telling you about before we started recording?
Yeah.
Well, that's another show we'll get into another time.
We'll talk about that one. We'll talk about that one. But, yes, speaking of which, Ainzel Gon actually does come back in another show called Isekai Quartet.
Well, wait, is it the same voice actor?
It is actually. So
interesting.
So Isekai Quartet is actually the chibi version of the main cast of Overlord.
Yeah.
So and this was actually a major thing that Crunchimation, we're gonna call them that.
Crunchimation, Crunchy Nation. That's terrible.
Yes, Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yeah.
So let's go with that.
Fun and crunchy. Fun to crunchy? Fun to crunchy. Yeah, it's funny.
Fun to roll?
Crunchy fun.
We're still trying to figure out what to call you guys.
Exactly, yeah, because Funimation and Crunchyroll are now working together. And who owns who, Dante? Because one of the companies fused, or they merged, or something happened recently.
So it's actually Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
The outside is Crunchyroll, but the inside is Funimation.
Yeah. So it's
so it's basically a cookie on the outside but fudge on the inside.
So it's crunchy outside but fun inside.
Yeah, let's go with that.
It is basically a crunch bar, right? Yeah. It's well, actually crunch bar is crunchy on the inside, but,
yeah, it is,
but fun on the outside. So yeah, it's kind of like a mini Snickers. Right? Because Snickers are gooey on the outside, fun, but crunchy inside with the nuts.
I'm more of a Twix guy, but I do like Snickers though.
You're more of a
I'm more of a Twix guy.
So it's pretty much your basic candy bar, right? It's okay. This would be a great tagline for Crunchyroll or Funimation.
Yeah.
It is crunchy, fun sized. So if you guys are watching Crunchyroll or Funimation, yeah, that should be like your slogan.
Crunchy on the outside, fun on the inside.
No. Crunchy, fun size.
Okay.
All of your favorite anime in one place. That sounds like One Piece.
I know, right? So anyway. they might actually go with that. I don't know. Maybe they might actually go with that.
That is, it's like,
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right, dude?
Exactly.
Anyway.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Back to Overlord.
After a brief intermission.
Yeah, from Crunchy Fun.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, unsponsored by Crunchyroll.
Unsponsored by Crunchyroll, yes.
Unsponsored. But basically Overlord does come back in Isekai Quartet. Now, Isekai Quartet is basically, again, the chibi versions of these characters, but it's not just them.
Wait, don't they have multiple versions of that Crunchy
Crunchy. You're thinking about Crunchy
Crunchy Quartet.
Crunchy Quartet. Oh,
no. What I meant to say was, don't they have multiple versions of that Isekai Quartet? Because isn't there there's one for Sword Art, there's one for a bunch of other shows too.
Actually,
where they're chibi versions of all of the characters. There's one for Naruto. There's like a ton of the chibi versions of all the different.
I think the one that you might be thinking of is Rock Lee's Adventure. Yeah, that's where they did the chibi version.
But there's a couple other ones too though, because there was a chibi version for there was a chibi animated version for, what was the show? It was for it was for shucks, what's that? I'm trying to think of the series. Darn.
Whoa, wait,
It's one of the shoot. I think I have it in. I think I can pull it up here. It is. Oh, Testament of Sisters. I believe there was a.
Testament of Sister New Devil.
Yeah, New Devil. Yeah, I believe there was a chibi version of that as well. And Attack on Titan has a chibi thing too.
Well, that's actually known as Attack on Titan High School. But for
Titans, fun sized.
It really is.
They're like they're kind of like piranhas, only only human shaped.
I'm not sure about piranhas. Yeah. But basically Isekai Quartet. It's Overlord. Yeah. It's Shield Hero.
Yep.
It's Konosuba.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, Konosuba.
Yeah, I like.
It's Konosuba. Also Saga of Tanya. And it's also Ray Zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, all five of them are actually in that series, but they're in their chibi versions.
Chibi. And I think, doesn't Chobits have a chibi thing too? Oh, no, maybe not.
No, not them.
Maybe not.
And I think for Isekai Quartet...
For some reason, when you're talking about chibis, you remember the old SD Gundam commercial?
Don't even remind me.
Gundams. Fun-sized.
Yes, it really was.
SD Gundam. Shout out to Peter Cullen.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But yeah, they're supposed to be getting a third season. From what I heard, they might actually be bringing the Slime Crew in there.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, because they're also a part of the Isekai thing.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a bunch of those.
But yeah.
So you said so you said that Overlord is in there somewhere, Dante? Is it Overlord exactly, just in their chibi forms, or is
it's Overlord exactly,
or is it a different story?
Oh no, it's Overlord exactly in their chibi forms.
Okay.
It's just that all of those, the main cast of all of those characters have been thrown into like a school life situation. So basically, it's a comedy, but it actually takes the Overlord characters kind of out of their element. It's still their personalities.
Oh gosh, can you imagine having Ainsel Gone as a teacher?
That actually happens in one episode.
That's creepy, yeah.
And Kazuma was one of his students.
Kazuma? Wait, is it the Kazuma I'm thinking of? From Esker Ayed?
No,
Shocking
not that one.
First bullet! Shout out to
one.
Steve Bloom.
Not that one.
Yeah, shout outs to Steve Bloom. No, not that one. Different Kazuma?
It's the Kazuma.
Dang it!
It's the Kazuma from Konosuba.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, that would have been kind of cool. Shocking first bullet!
Yeah, I know, right?
Anyway.
And apparently there's some fight between Aqua and Ainsel Gone, but you already know
Aqua.
You already know that's...
Dude, that is not even a fight.
No, it is not.
I thought Gohan could crush her with his pinky finger.
He can.
Oh, yeah.
He literally can, if he wanted to.
Hey, Death Battle, we hope you're listening, because you might want to be taking some notes right now.
Yeah, honestly, when I first saw that, I literally thought that a professional fanfic writer put that series together.
It does look like fan fiction.
Because it definitely looks like something a fanfic writer would do, except Crunchimation. Yes, I'm calling you guys that. Crunchimation. It's anime, fun-sized.
Right, dude?
Yeah.
Anime fun-sized?
Yeah, so basically they kind of beat everybody to the punch. And the cool thing about that is it has all the voice actors from like different areas like Texas, LA, and New York. So they kind of bunched everybody up.
So. Well, so I know this is way off topic, right?
Yeah.
And sorry to get so off topic, but wouldn't it be cool if someone made an anime about Crunchyroll and Funimation and did it One Piece themed, or it's like they had like the grand instead of the grand line, it was like the grand like anime dubber, and like
anime dubber.
All of the nerds are like traveling towards Crunch Nation for their shot at the one place to stream all your anime. Yeah.
I feel like that story arc's happening now, though.
Because it'd be similar to One Piece.
I know, right? But I kind of feel
Nerd Piece.
Yeah, let's go with that. I kind of feel like that story arc is happening now, but
Crunch Nation, the one place to stream all your anime in one in one place.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So honestly, dude, I would say that did you have any final thoughts about Ainz Elgone and the series as a whole?
So the show as a whole, right? The Overlord as a whole. And now back to Overlord. Anyway, but anyway, the show as a whole does a really good job of just kind of keeping you. It keeps you guessing, right, with the story, but also the characters and the way they put the story together and how the characters interact and just how the story kind of moves along so seamlessly is very well done, and it keeps you watching, which is great. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a show. Like a more serious but dark show, except maybe Hellsing, where like you actually want to keep watching. It's actually interesting enough to keep you sucked in to watch.
Right.
Like from the first season all the way up until now, I've pretty much been sucked in the entire time to the show.
Yeah, and it's honestly it's so hard to find isekai that do that.
Yeah.
Because the genre is so saturated with so many generic ones that it's kind of hard to find like the diamonds in the rough like Overlord. Yeah. But Overlord is definitely one of those shows that will literally keep you hooked.
The other thing that's also interesting is that Overlord has an interesting thing with their comedy. Like, yes, there are funny parts in here. Yeah. But they make it funny while also trying not to push it too far. They go just far enough where like
where you understand the joke.
Yeah, you understand the joke and you kind of get the point, but they don't like overdo it too much. And even with like, I found that true even to be in the subtitled like episodes too. Like they make a joke, but they don't overdo it too much.
Right.
And then also Ainz Elgone himself does have a sense of humor, but a lot of times he either
it's like that dark, dry sense of humor.
Yeah, or sometimes he like doesn't because like he either doesn't he can't read their language right, or he like either he misses something. Sometimes he doesn't always get it, which is kind of funny sometimes. And then other times he'll act like he gets it and he'll just like play along, which can actually be really really funny too.
Right.
So yeah. So I kind of like the humor in it too. It's pretty funny, but it's also they don't waste time with stuff too. They can move the story along pretty well,
right?
Which is good, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't. A lot of certain aspects that otherwise would take too long. They don't overstay their welcome.
Yeah,
so they actually keep it moving along, which is good. I definitely like the pacing of it.
Yeah, I do too. The pacing is good, and like I said, the characters are very well done. They flesh out their characters, and they stick with them, which is great. You know, like in some shows, you might see one character and then he dies like the 3 episodes in, right?
Yeah.
In this one, like people do die, but that's not the last you'll hear or see of them. They might come up in another episode, or there might be like a flashback and you'll see them again. And then also sometimes it takes a while for them to actually die in the series. So like there might be a battle which they might be fighting another nation or whatever, and they may not kill the king or whoever else is in that kingdom until much later on. They may escape. That's another thing about Overlord. The fights are kind of interesting. The battles are kind of interesting because Ainz does let people survive. He does let people live in some of the battles. Right. So it's like even if you think someone might have died, he may not actually be dead. He might have gotten away.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's the other interesting thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say, really. I mean, like there isn't much to really complain about on this one. Unless you're not really a fan of that dark skeleton overlord leader kind of thing. But I mean, like, no, it's pretty good. The voice of Ainz, whoever does that gritty, dark voice, I swear it sounds like something you'd hear in like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right. So yeah.
It sounds like one of the who's the dude in the first Pirates movie, the bad guy, Dante, the skeleton. Dude.
Oh yeah, that is I think I know. Barbosa.
Yeah, it sounds like something that you'd hear out of that character, out of his Barbosa character from the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. It sounds like a voice or like something like that's. It kind of sounds like him, only like darker and grittier. You know what I mean?
I actually remember watching. Honestly, I remember watching the first two, and of course, Barbosa did die in the first one, but at the end of the second one. then he came back, and I was like, how
But
that
remember, he had that weird thing where he would turn to bones if in certain parts of the movie he would be like all bones or he'd be mostly bones, and then he would have flesh on him, later on during certain parts of the movie. I can't remember I can't remember when it was either like when it was either at night or it was a curse. Like at night or whatever, he'd turn to bones, and during the day he'd be human. Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of that because like. The only difference is that I feel like with Ainz, he's a little darker and grittier, but the same idea. The voice reminds me of something you'd hear in like a pirate movie.
Right. Yeah.
At least that's my opinion.
Right.
But it could also be like Billy and Mandy. Because do you remember the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy?
Yeah, Grim.
That Grim was also really good. I used to be able to do a good impression of Grim, but I don't think I can do it anymore.
They actually made him sound Jamaican.
Yeah.
They made him sound Jamaican.
They did, yeah.
But yeah. I mean, all in all, I would say definitely if you guys haven't gotten a chance to see Overlord, definitely go see it.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah, it's a pretty good show.
The 4th season did just wrap up yesterday.
Which I did actually. I started watching the 4th season. I haven't finished it yet. Right. But they still there's parts where it's still not out yet. They haven't finished releasing the whole thing because there's one of the newer seasons just started. So
yeah, they from what I heard they just finished dubbing it, but they're still trying to get it ready for
not every episode is out yet.
No, yeah.
But yeah.
But all in all, I can say, do you want to wrap this one up?
Yeah,
because we're already 25 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, this is definitely one. If you're looking for something else to watch, and you're looking maybe for something a little longer, that has a good story, good characters, good character development, and good plot, go watch this one. Like it's both entertaining and interesting, and it'll keep you watching. I heard the manga is also really good to this one too.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah. So yeah, watch Overlord, guys.
Yep.
You'll probably recognize a lot of your favorite or famous actors in this one. There are a lot of good voice actors in here. And if you're not a big fan of the subtitled one, or I mean the dubbed one, go watch it subtitled. It's still just as good dubbed as it is subbed.
Yeah, and also,
in my opinion. Now some people might disagree. That's cool. If you like the subtitled one better, you watch the subtitled one. But if you're someone who just wants to chill and watch a good dubbed episode of anime, this is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, and also if you're looking for a more lighter comedic side of Ainz Algone, watch Isekai Quartet because he's also up there too.
No, is it the same voice actors?
It's the same voice actor.
Okay,
it's the exact same. It's the exact same cast. Only they're more comedic and
funny. Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, guys, with that, I think we should end this one on a somewhat crazy but fun laugh, right, Dante?
I think so.
So we're gonna end it on this one. Right, dude?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Peace.
Crunchimation.
Yes. Fun-sized.